The rejection the workshop in the shadows. Marcus Chen adjusted his neural interface headset and wiped the sweat from his forehead. The abandoned storage bay on level 7 of New Terra Station wasn't much to look at, but it was home to his workshop. Discarded equipment hummed softly in the dim light, each piece carefully restored and modified by his skilled hands. His wheelchair moved silently between workbenches cluttered with alien components and human tools, a testament to his refusal to let anything stop his passion for engineering. The morning's rejection letter still glowed on his tablet screen. Application denied, Galactic Engineering Council License Board. The words stung more than he cared to admit. For the 4th time in 2 years, the council had rejected his application to become a certified interstellar engineer. The reason was always the same, buried in bureaucratic language that boiled down to one simple prejudice: humans with disabilities couldn't be trusted with critical alien technology. Marcus had spent 10 years studying Zephyrian quantum mechanics, mastered Altairian crystal resonance theory, and could repair a Centauri fusion drive blindfolded. None of that mattered to the council. They saw his wheelchair first, his brilliance second. The signal from the void, the emergency beacon, pierced through the station's communication array at 0347 hours, jolting the night shift into action. Marcus heard the commotion from his workshop. Several levels below, his modified audio sensors picking up the urgent chatter from the command center. He activated his personal scanner, tapping into the station's communication network with skills that weren't entirely legal but were certainly effective. Mayday, Mayday. This is Mining Colony Kepler 4 to B. We have a critical system failure. Our atmospheric processes are failing. 10,000 miners trapped. Repeat, 10,000 souls need immediate assistance. The transmission crackled with interference, but Marcus could hear the desperation in the human voice. Kepler 4 for 2B was a joint human-alien mining operation, one of the most successful collaborations in the Outer Rim. The colony used advanced Zephyrian atmospheric processing technology, systems so complex that only a handful of certified engineers in the galaxy could repair them. Marcus rolled his chair to his main workstation and began analyzing the technical data streaming from the colony. The readings made his blood run cold. The Zephyrian atmospheric processes weren't just failing. They were cascading toward a complete collapse that would suffocate everyone on the planet within 72 hours. The Council's dilemma, the station's command center. Admiral Sarah Rodriguez paced behind a wall of holographic displays showing the crisis unfolding at Kepler 4 for 2B. The colony's atmospheric readings painted a grim picture. Oxygen levels dropping, carbon dioxide rising, and the complex alien machinery that kept 10,000 people alive was breaking down faster than anyone anticipated. What do we have for certified engineers? Rodriguez asked her aide, Commander James Park. Park consulted his tablet, his expression growing more troubled with each name he crossed off. Engineer Vextel is responding to the Titan Station emergency. Engineer Korath is 3 weeks away. In the Andromeda sector, Engineer Zara Single, Leth, ... still recovering from the Proxima incident. Rodriguez slammed her fist on the console. There has to be someone. What about the Emergency Engineering Corps? All deployed or unavailable, Admiral. The closest certified engineer is Engineer Mordock, but he's 5 days away at maximum burn. The colony doesn't have 5 days. A junior communications officer cleared his throat nervously. Admiral, there is one possibility. We have Marcus Chen on the station. He's not certified, but his technical knowledge is ... extensive. Rodriguez turned, her eyes narrowing. The human in the wheelchair. The one the council keeps rejecting. Yes, ma'am. He's been monitoring the situation. He's already requested permission to review the colony's technical specifications. The Admiral's face showed her internal struggle. Military protocol demanded certified engineers for critical missions, but 10,000 lives hung in the balance, and protocol might not be enough to save them. The reluctant agreement Marcus had been expecting the call. When Admiral Rodriguez appeared on his workshop's communication screen, he could see the desperation she was trying to hide behind military bearing. Mr. Chen, I need to be direct with you. We have 10,000 people dying on Kepler-4 for 2B, and you're the only engineer on this station who might be able to help them. Marcus leaned back in his chair, studying the Admiral's face. Might be able to help. Admiral, I can definitely help them. The question is whether you're willing to let me try. Rodriguez's jaw tightened. The Galactic Engineering Council has made their position clear about your situation. My situation. Marcus's voice carried an edge of steel. You mean my disability? Let me be clear, Admiral. My legs don't work, but my brain does. And right now, my brain is the only thing standing between those miners and suffocation. The Admiral was quiet for a long moment. What do you need? Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Transport to Kepler-4 for 2B, full access to their technical systems, and maybe most importantly, the authority to work without interference from council bureaucrats. And if the council objects, then 10,000 people die while they argue about regulations. Rodriguez made her decision. You have my authorization, Mr. Chen, but understand, if this goes wrong, both our careers are over. Marcus was already powering up his portable workshop equipment. Admiral, if this goes wrong, we'll have bigger problems than our careers. The journey to Kepler-4 for Tabitha transport ship Determination was a fast courier vessel, designed for emergency runs between star systems. Marcus had converted a section of the cargo bay into a mobile workshop, his equipment secured against the high-G maneuvers required for maximum speed. The ship's captain, Elena Vasquez, had initially been skeptical about carrying a disabled passenger on such a dangerous mission. That skepticism had faded when she watched Marcus's interface with the ship's navigation system and optimize their flight path, reducing travel time by 6 hours. His modifications to the ship's power distribution increased engine efficiency by 12%, and his adjustments to the life support systems improved air quality throughout the vessel. Never seen anything like it, Captain Vasquez told her. Crew, he's making this old ship perform like it's fresh from the shipyard. Marcus worked continuously during the 30-hour journey, analyzing every piece of data transmitted from the failing colony. The Zephyrian atmospheric processors were marvels of alien engineering, capable of transforming toxic alien atmospheres into breathable air for multiple species. But they were also incredibly complex, with quantum-level interactions that most engineers couldn't fully understand. The more Marcus studied the data, the more convinced he became that this wasn't just a mechanical failure. The patterns were too precise, too systematic. Someone or something had deliberately sabotaged the atmospheric processes, and they had done it with an intimate knowledge of Zephyrian technology. Arrival at Kepler-4 for Tabitha mining colony was a sprawling complex of interconnected domes and tunnels built into the surface of a world that had never known natural life. From orbit, Marcus could see the massive atmospheric processing plants that kept the colony alive, their alien architecture gleaming against the rust-colored landscape. The colony's administrator, Dr. Jennifer Walsh, met them at the landing pad. Her face was drawn with exhaustion and worry. "Mr. Chen, I have to be honest with you. We've had 3 certified engineers review our situation remotely, and they all say the same thing. The damage is too extensive for repair. They're recommending full evacuation." Marcus maneuvered his wheelchair down the transport's ramp, his portable equipment following on automated carts. "Dr. Walsh, evacuating 10,000 people from a planetary surface isn't something you do in 72 hours, especially not when half the transport fleet is already committed to other emergencies." "That's exactly what I told them," Walsh replied. "But they insist the atmospheric processes can't be fixed." Marcus looked up at the massive alien structures dominating the colony's skyline. "Then they're not thinking creatively enough. Show me to the main processing center." The facility was a testament to Zephyrian engineering prowess. Crystalline structures pulsed with energy, their surfaces covered in symbols that shifted and changed as Marcus watched. The air thrummed with power, but underneath the normal operational sounds, Marcus could hear the discordant notes of failing systems. "The quantum resonance chambers are destabilizing," explained Chief Engineer Robert Kim, the colony's senior technical officer. "We've lost 3 of the primary atmospheric converters, and the remaining ones are showing cascade failures. The Zephyrian technicians we consulted remotely said the quantum matrix has been corrupted beyond repair." Marcus approached the central control console, his neural interface automatically syncing with the alien systems. Data flowed through his consciousness, painting a picture of elegant technology pushed beyond its limits. But as he delved deeper into the system's architecture, he found something that made him pause. "This isn't random failure," he announced. "These systems have been deliberately modified. Someone with advanced knowledge of Zephyrian technology has introduced a virus into the quantum matrix." Dr. Walsh and Engineer Kim exchanged glances. "A virus? An alien technology? Not a traditional computer virus," Marcus explained, his hands dancing over the control interface. "Something more sophisticated. A quantum virus that attacks the fundamental resonance patterns that keep the atmospheric processes stable." He pulled up a holographic display showing the virus's structure. "Whoever did this understands Zephyrian technology better than most certified engineers. They've created a self-replicating quantum pattern that spreads through the system like a cancer." "Can you stop it?" Walsh asked. Marcus studied the display, his mind racing through possibilities. "I can try something that no certified engineer would ever attempt. It's risky, probably against every safety protocol in the galaxy, but it might work." "What do you need?" "Access to the colony's main power grid, a direct neural interface with the atmospheric processors, and about 6 hours of uninterrupted work time." Kim looked skeptical. "Direct neural interface with alien technology? That's incredibly dangerous. The Council forbids it for good reason." Marcus turned his wheelchair to face the engineer. "Mr. Kim, in approximately 60 hours, everyone on this planet will be dead. I'm willing to risk brain damage to prevent that. The question is whether you're willing to let me try." The silence stretched between them, broken only by the increasingly erratic sounds of the failing atmospheric processes. Finally, Dr. Walsh spoke. "Do it. Whatever you need, Mr. Chen. Save our people." Marcus nodded, already beginning the complex process of preparing for the most dangerous engineering challenge of his career. The irony wasn't lost on him that his disability, which had kept him from certification, might be the key to saving 10,000 lives. His modified neural interface, enhanced to compensate for his physical limitations, could handle the quantum data streams that would overwhelm a standard human brain. As he worked, Marcus reflected on the journey that had brought him to this moment. Every rejection, every closed door, every condescending bureaucrat had led him here. The colony's atmospheric processes hummed around him, their alien song growing, weaker with each passing hour. Time was running out, but Marcus Chen had never been one to surrender to impossible odds. He had spent his life proving that limitations existed only in the minds of those who accepted them. Now, with 10,000 lives hanging in the balance, he prepared to prove it one more time. The impossible solution, the neural interface. Marcus positioned himself at the central control hub of the atmospheric processing facility, his modified wheelchair locking into place with mechanical precision. The neural interface cables snaked from his headset to the alien control matrix, a connection that would have been impossible without his custom modifications. Standard human neural interfaces simply couldn't handle the quantum data streams generated by Zephyrian technology. Neural sync initiating, he announced to the assembled team. Dr. Walsh, Engineer Kim, and a handful of the colony's senior staff watched nervously as Marcus prepared to attempt something that violated every safety protocol in the galactic engineering handbook. The connection established with a sensation like lightning flowing through his consciousness. Suddenly, Marcus could perceive the atmospheric processes not as machines, but as living entities. The Zephyrian technology interfaced directly with biological neural patterns, creating a symbiotic relationship between engineer and equipment that most species found uncomfortable. For Marcus, it was like coming home through the neural link. He could feel the quantum virus spreading through the system's core programming. It was elegant and destructive, a piece of sabotage that demonstrated intimate knowledge of both Zephyrian technology and human psychology. The virus attacked the very foundations of the atmospheric processes operation, unraveling the quantum matrices that maintained atmospheric stability. Status report, Dr. Walsh called out, her voice tense with worry. I can see the virus, Marcus replied, his physical voice distant as his consciousness navigated the digital landscape of the alien systems. It's more sophisticated than I initially thought. Whoever created this understood that direct destruction would be easily detected. Instead, they've created a cascading failure that looks like natural system degradation. The virus had infected 17 of the colony's 23 atmospheric processors. The remaining 6 units were struggling to maintain life support for 10,000 people, their quantum matrices showing signs of increasing strain. Marcus estimated they had perhaps 40 hours before complete atmospheric collapse. The impossible gamble. Marcus began his work by isolating the 3 most critical atmospheric processes, creating quantum firewalls that would prevent the virus from spreading further. The process required him to manually rewrite sections of the alien code, translating human intuition into Zephyrian quantum logic. What I'm about to attempt has never been tried before, he explained to the team. I'm going to use human neural patterns to create a countervirus, something that can hunt down and destroy the sabotage code. Engineer Kim stepped forward, his face pale with concern. Marcus, human neural patterns aren't compatible with Zephyrian quantum systems. The interaction could cause permanent brain damage or worse, or it could save 10,000 lives. Marcus replied simply. The virus was designed to exploit Zephyrian logic patterns. It doesn't know how to handle human creativity and intuition. Dr. Walsh moved closer to the control console. What can we do to help? Monitor my vital signs. If my neural activity spikes beyond safe parameters, you'll need to emergency disconnect me from the system. that will probably kill everyone on the planet, but it might save my life. The silence that followed was heavy with the weight of impossible choices. Marcus had already begun the process, his consciousness diving deeper into the alien systems than any human had ever gone before. The quantum virus reacted to his presence, its code shifting and adapting to try to neutralize the foreign intrusion. What the virus's creators hadn't anticipated was the sheer unpredictability of human thought patterns. Where Zephyrian logic followed precise mathematical principles, human creativity operated on intuition, emotion, and leaps of logic that defied conventional programming. The counterattack Marcus crafted his countervirus using techniques that borrowed from human psychology, alien quantum mechanics, and pure creative inspiration. The code he wrote was part mathematics, part art, and part something that had never existed before. It was a digital representation of human stubbornness made manifest in quantum form. The battle between virus and countervirus played out across the colony's atmospheric systems, like a chess match between alien logic and human creativity. The original virus adapted and evolved, but it couldn't predict the seemingly random patterns of Marcus's counter-programming. Neural activity is spiking, Engineer Kim reported, his voice tight with worry. Marcus, you're pushing beyond safe parameters. Marcus could feel his consciousness stretching, his mind operating at the very limits of human capability. The neural interface was designed to handle data streams that would overwhelm a normal human brain. But even his modified systems were being pushed to their breaking point. Through the link, he could sense the atmospheric processes responding to his countervirus. The quantum matrices were stabilizing, their harmonic resonance returning to normal operational parameters. But the original virus was fighting back, adapting its code to match Marcus's countermeasures. 27 hours until atmospheric collapse, Dr. Walsh announced. Marcus, how are you doing? I'm winning, Marcus replied, though his physical voice was strained. The virus is sophisticated, but it's predictable. Human creativity isn't. The countervirus spread through the colony's systems like digital wildfire, seeking out and destroying the sabotage code wherever it found it. But Marcus realized that eliminating the virus wasn't enough. The damage it had caused to the atmospheric processor's quantum matrices would take weeks to repair using conventional methods. The colony didn't have weeks. The breakthrough. Marcus made a decision that would have horrified any certified engineer. Instead of trying to repair the damaged quantum matrices, he decided to replace them entirely. Using his neural interface, he began crafting new quantum resonance patterns, building them from scratch using a combination of Zephyrian principles and human intuition. What are you doing? Engineer Kim asked, his monitoring equipment showing readings that shouldn't have been possible. I'm rebuilding the atmospheric processor's core programming, Marcus replied. The virus damaged the quantum matrices beyond conventional repair, so I'm making new ones. That's impossible. It takes teams of Zephyrian engineers years to design quantum matrices for atmospheric processors. It takes teams of Zephyrian engineers years, Marcus corrected. I'm not Zephyrian, and I'm not following their design principles. The new quantum matrices that Marcus created were unlike anything in the galactic engineering database. They combined the mathematical precision of Zephyrian technology with the adaptive creativity of human problem-solving. The result was atmospheric processors that were more efficient, more resilient, and more adaptable than their original designs. As the new systems came online, the colony's atmospheric readings began to stabilize. Oxygen levels stopped declining, carbon dioxide levels normalized, and the complex chemical balance that kept 10,000 people alive returned to safe parameters. The moment of truth. Atmospheric processes are showing green across all systems. Engineer Kim announced, his voice filled with amazement. Efficiency is up 30% from normal operational parameters. How is that possible? Marcus slowly disconnected from the neural interface, his consciousness returning to his physical body like a deep-sea diver surfacing from the depths. The experience had pushed him beyond his limits, but he had succeeded in ways that no one had thought possible. Human engineering isn't about following rules, he explained, his voice hoarse from the neural strain. It's about finding solutions that nobody else has thought of. The virus was designed to exploit Zephyrian logic patterns, but it couldn't handle human creativity. Dr. Walsh approached the control console, her eyes wide with disbelief. Marcus, you didn't just save the colony, you improved it. These atmospheric processes are performing better than when they were first installed. Human ingenuity, Marcus replied simply. We don't just fix things, we make them better. The news of Marcus's success spread through the colony like wildfire. 10,000 miners who had been facing certain death were now breathing easier thanks to atmospheric processes that were more efficient than anything in the galaxy. The impossible had become possible through human determination and creativity. The recognition within hours of the atmospheric processes' successful restoration, Marcus received a priority communication from Admiral Rodriguez aboard New Terra Station. The Admiral's expression was a mixture of relief and amazement. Mr. Chen, the Galactic Engineering Council has been monitoring the situation at Kepler-4 for 2b. They're requesting a full technical report on your solution. Marcus allowed himself a tired smile. Are they now? The same council that rejected my application 4 times. The same council that is now offering you immediate certification as a master engineer, along with an official apology for their previous decisions. And what do they say about my disability now? Admiral Rodriguez's expression softened. They say that your unique perspective and adaptive technologies make you one of the most valuable engineers in the galaxy. They're offering you a position as Chief Innovation Officer. Marcus looked around at the humming atmospheric processes, their alien architecture now enhanced with human creativity. I appreciate the offer, Admiral, but I think I'll stick with my workshop on New Terra Station. Someone needs to handle the impossible problems that certified engineers can't solve. The transmission ended, leaving Marcus alone with his thoughts. He had proven that human ingenuity could overcome any obstacle, that creativity and determination were more valuable than bureaucratic approval. The galaxy had 10,000 living witnesses to the power of human innovation. The legacy, as Marcus prepared to return to New Terra Station, he reflected on the journey that had brought him to this moment. Every rejection, every closed door, every skeptical look had led him to this triumph. He had saved 10,000 lives, not despite his disability, but because of the unique perspective and adaptive technologies it had forced him to develop. The atmospheric processes hummed around him, their efficiency improved by 30% over original specifications. The countervirus he had created would become a standard tool for protecting alien technology from sabotage. Most importantly, the galaxy had witnessed the power of human creativity when faced with impossible odds. Dr. Walsh approached as Marcus packed his equipment. Marcus, how can we ever thank you? Keep pushing the boundaries, Marcus replied. Human engineering isn't about following rules. It's about finding solutions that nobody else has thought of. The transport ship Determination lifted off from Kepler 44 to B, carrying a man who had proven that the impossible was Babistiv, just another engineering challenge waiting for human creativity to solve it. Behind him, 10,000 people breathed easier thanks to atmospheric processors that were now the most advanced in the galaxy. Marcus Chen had started the day as a rejected applicant, dismissed by bureaucrats who couldn't see past his disability. He ended it as the engineer who had saved an entire colony and revolutionized atmospheric processing technology. The galaxy had learned that human ingenuity, determination, and creativity were forces that could overcome any obstacle. As the stars wheeled past the transport's viewports, Marcus was already planning his next project. Somewhere in the galaxy, there was another impossible problem waiting for a human engineer who refused to accept limitations. And when that problem arose, Marcus Chen would be ready to prove once again that humanity's greatest strength lay not in following rules, but in rewriting them entirely.